nice to see you. I understand that you heard of me from the pot dealer down the street, is that right? Yes, he does have an assortment of exotic pots. I personally just bought a whole bunch of pots from him the other day. Yeah, I have an aloe plant now growing in it. Well, one of them at least. So, if you're here, then I'm assuming that means that you're in need of a keyboard. Well, of course, you've come to the right place, as I'm the only keyboard dealer around here. No problem. So, what type of keyboard are you looking for? For example, are you using a keyboard to complete office work and to be as efficient as possible with your keystrokes? Or are you trying to do a lot more gaming, things of that nature, where you might need a keyboard that is a little bit easier to use in that type of way? I see. Well, I can make this a little bit easier for you. What type of computer do you have? Okay. Oh, and you want a keyboard that matches the color of your PC? No problem. What color PC do you have? I have an assortment of different colors available. Black. I can do black. I actually have a few under the counter that I had just received today, if you're interested. Sure. Let me go ahead and grab those for you, and we can look at them together. Allow me a moment. Now, this keyboard, as I had mentioned, just came in today. Somebody had gone on an expedition to the surface and was able to procure this from an abandoned office building and brought it down here to the Undertown. It does have a cord which stretches, I would say, about 3 feet in length, with a USB adapter, a plug. It also has a number pad over here, in addition to the numbers up top. And this one has all of the keys that originally came with it, which is a rarity for items that we usually find on the surface. A lot of keyboards that are still left in existence are usually missing a few buttons at least. The action on this keyboard is pretty good still. I had taken some time to clean it a little bit, though I had not finished doing so yet. The number pad. Yes, the number pad works very well still. the space bar is still very, very bouncy. It's in excellent condition. Yeah, you can hear all the buttons. What's your name? I'll type it. Okay. How do you spell that? Oh, of course. I knew that. I felt like I got it right. So would something like this be of interest to you? It does have this long cord, which could be annoying and get in the way sometimes. You want to see what else we have? Well, we do have a wireless keyboard that is black as well. Let me grab that for you so you can check it out. Now this one, I was actually just preparing to take back into my storage area, and I had already wrapped it in a protective plastic wrapping as to not allow it to get wet or to get dust in it, things of that nature. There tends to be a lot of moisture down here underground. As you can see, this keyboard is much more condensed than the previous one. I can hold it right here with no problem at all. And I know the plastic wrapping might take away a little bit from the action of the buttons, but here, you should have a feel for yourself. This one's a little bit smoother than the previous keyboard, but it feels nice, right? Thank you. I'll take that back. But here I can demonstrate for you how all the keys are in perfect working condition. And as I mentioned, this is wireless. Right, you have a PC that will hook up to a wireless connection, right? Good. Want to see it outside of the plastic wrapping. I did just put this in plastic though. That's kind of inconvenient. However, because you seem so interested in the product, I suppose I'll make an exception. Just this once. hearing the difference? Okay, I'll bring them up side by side for you so you can kind of hear each one simultaneously. So here is the previous one, which is a bit longer. Here's the wireless one. Hear the difference now. Okay. So, were you considering the black wired keyboard, or are you leaning now more towards the black wireless keyboard? I know it can be a tough decision. You're still unsure. Well, I'll tell you what. I do have one other keyboard that I can show you that's ready to be purchased. However, it's not a black keyboard. It's actually a purple, or maybe you would even consider it a violet keyboard. And it's different than the others, not just in color, but in design. Well, the keyboard is a wireless one. However, it is what's known as a mechanical keyboard. Would you like to see it? Okay, let me grab that for you. Now, it might not be a black keyboard, but I can definitely provide to you a black carrying case. Let's go ahead and take a look, shall we? Now this one is a very small keyboard, even smaller than the previous wireless keyboard. For example, these are the two right next to each other. And you can also see the keys are much different between the two of them. So this keyboard, as I mentioned, is mechanical. When I click in a key, it has a much, I can't think of the proper term for it, but a much more punchier sound. It's, in my opinion, more satisfying of a sound. It's one of those types of sounds that just makes you feel like you're getting stuff done, especially when you do a little bit of a combination. interested in this little keyboard here? Possibly. Okay. Well, oh, so you want to take, you have somebody who you would want to give this to. Okay, very good. And you want the black wired keyboard as well. No problem. Yeah, I can do that for you. Sure. Let me go ahead and I'll just get something to clean out between the keys for you. Allow me just a moment, okay? So I'll clean between the keys of the keyboards with some good old-fashioned Q-tips. 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 Also, sometimes referred to as cotton swabs. Cotton swabs. Cotton swabs. So let's start with the mechanical keyboard. Just gotta figure out which Q-tip I want. Can you hear some of those frogs outside? They're a species of underground frog that lives down here in Undertown. Very interesting. This cotton swab slash Q-tip looks to be as good as any, so we'll go with this one. So all we have to do, I do actually sell some cleaning supplies for keyboards and other electronic goods if you are interested, but just for a nice, simple, quick, and easy cleaning, all we need to do is take the cotton swab and just go in between the keys, that's all. Just a light dusting. Pretty good for being underground. Alright. So that takes care of this one. Next, I'll move on to the big one. I'll put the cord around my back to make it easier. Even when I clean these keys, you can hear a distinct difference between the two keyboards. This one was noticeably dustier. It's been neglected for a little while. Sometimes I like to pretend that keyboards are like guitars and play a little guitar solo. Legend has it, there was once a video game where you can actually play a video game guitar and it had buttons that you can press instead of playing chords. It was called Guitar Champion or Guitar Legend, something like that. Very, very cool. I wish I could have seen that game. So I'll go ahead and get these packed up for you. And did you have anything else that you were interested in today before I get these ready for you to take with you? No? Well, I do appreciate you stopping by today. And just hang out a bit. I'll get these packaged up. We'll settle the payment and you'll be on your way. Sounds good.